Hey everyone, how you doing? So, Garden Warfare 2. This game's got abilities. Lots of them, actually. Considering how BFN didn't have anything besides the base roster, and Garden Warfare 1 just didn't have as much content, Garden Warfare 2 is, by default, the PvZ shooter game with the most flexibility regarding your abilities. And because of this, it's only natural that some abilities would be better than others. One example that comes to mind for me is the difference between Rocket Jump and Rocket Leap for Foot Soldier. Both abilities are used for movement, with Rocket Leap having 2 uses, but less verticality, and Rocket Jump having 1 use and more verticality. In a practical sense, Rocket Leap is just better in most situations, though there's definitely times where a good Rocket Jump could also help you immensely too. But that's just a normal example. And specifically, it's a difference between 2 base abilities. What about the abilities that aren't so easy to get? Like maybe Ruck's abilities? Yeah, that's a tough nut to crack right there. Some of these abilities are very obscure, especially the ones with no real theming. Like, okay, show of hands in the audience, how many of you are aware of the Red Artichoke drone? Okay, fair amount of you. And how many of you have it? Yeah, that's a lot less, isn't it? In any case, I find these abilities to be fascinating, though none are quite as interesting to me as Rux's true specialty, the bling abilities. If you've played Garden Warfare 2 for any amount of time, you've definitely seen these at least once. And really, how could you not see them? They're made to stand out and flex on other people. If buying an ability for 500,000 coins counts as flexing in your book. Yeah, not everybody's like that, and even if you were, I would never insult your intelligence for buying these, because there's a surprising amount of rumors floating around the community about these abilities. Like, some people say all of them suck, and some say they're all good. But are either of those statements true, or is it more complicated than that? Dude, you tell me. If I'm talking like this, we both know the answer. So in today's video, we're going to be diving into the wonderful world of Garden Warfare 2's bling abilities. And hopefully, I can clear up some misconceptions about these abilities too. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so out of every Xur wannabe ability, Rux made 7 bling abilities. And we'll be covering these in the order of no changes to some change. Yeah, despite there being 7 of these, only 3 of them are identical to their base counterparts. Amazingly, that number isn't a solid 7, and we'll get to what causes that later, but we should start discussing the 3 regular Joes first. The simplest of these is the Armored Bling Station, because unlike the other 2 abilities, this one doesn't even really have a visual or sound quirk to make it stand out a ton. It is quite literally a golden heal station, and a mediocre one at that. Keep in mind that this ability mirrors the Armored Heal Station, which is to say that it's not the best stat-wise. But there's really not much else to this ability. Use it if you don't like the heal as much as a scientist, and that's all she wrote. As for the Bling Gatling, this ability is a mirror to Retro Gatling, and that's also all there is to this one, on the surface at least. This particular ability is really dazzling, and I'm not just saying that as a joke. This one is like wearing a ZPG sign at all times when you use it, because even the sound design makes it sound like you're constantly advertising yourself as a punching bag. And the thing is that Retro Gatling isn't very good to begin with, so you're picking a more distracting variation of an already meh ability. I can't lie though, this one feels really good to use sometimes. There's no flex quite like shooting expensive peas at zombies. Is this what Jeff Bezos feels like? Moving right along, Pizzazzling Potato Mine is possibly the most interesting ability of these 3 because for some reason, there's a pretty decent amount of misinformation that's been spread about it. I'm not entirely sure where this conclusion came from, but a lot of people claim that it has a bigger explosion radius, which, no, it doesn't. You can look this one up very easily. There is no difference. But even beyond that, the ability itself is just so bizarre. I've also seen people claim it can blend into spawnable zombie piles better, and you know what? Sure, it looks pretty blended in on its own, until you look at what normal Potato Mine is capable of. I'm gonna be real, I think this is people coping about their purchase. Besides those things, this ability is just whatever. Moving on. Bedazzled Bolt Blaster is next, and despite it not having an actual stat difference, it's pretty funny to talk about. So, if you've been in the Garden Warfare 2 community for a while, you probably know about Party Amp having his crosshairs mixed up. His mech has what's supposed to be his primary's crosshairs, and his primary has the crosshairs of the mech. It's a funny little mistake, but there's no real harm. And somehow, that's not the only instance of this happening. This bolt blaster has the exact same issue, but this time it's using Reg Engineer's crosshairs. And this is consistent for every engineer variant. Like, you could be playing mechanic with this ability and the result would be the same. Now, why does this happen? I don't know, why are you looking at me? I'm not a developer, but regardless, it's a funny situation for an otherwise neat ability because the sound design. Oh, it's so satisfying to use this one. Bling Maiden is a somewhat similar deal, but also not. This one is functionally the exact same as the Iron Maiden, but it has a bigger hitbox apparently. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing in this case, but what is a good thing here is the ability itself allowing other physical abilities to get stacked on top of it. I'm sure you're aware of All-Star's Dummy Shield having a similar phenomenon, which theoretically allows you to go to the moon, and this ability can somewhat let you do that too. Cool. I don't see the usefulness for this one, but it's a neat novelty at least. And of course, I saved the best and the worst for last. These are the abilities that have something going on, something tangible and real. This is exhilarating. Get excited. The less interesting of the two ironically has a funnier name, the Looty Booty Barrel Blast. Being a copy of the Barrel Blast, you would assume it's the same as that ability, but no, it's worse. Somehow, PopCap must have decided that making yourself more flashy should give the plant an excuse to flashily deal more damage to you. So in other words, the damage reduction the barrel gives you is just a tiny bit lower. It's nothing you would immediately notice if you got hit with a beam bomb or something, but it's undeniably an issue when you're dealing with smaller damage. P-Shooter here is hitting 1 more damage per shot on the blue barrel, which doesn't sound bad, but that could stack up pretty fast if an entire team is shooting you. So yeah, it's not that good, and I kinda wish the name wasn't wasted on such a weird ability. But the Bling Pylon Call. Ooh, this one's special. Similar to Party Citron, where it's a straight upgrade to its base counterpart, the Bling Pylon mech just straight up does more damage per shot. I'm not kidding, it's a noticeable amount. Most of this video has been about hypotheticals, but there is no theorizing about this one. I would go so far as to say that this Bling ability is the real flex among the bunch. It's so randomly good, and it's the only special mech Imp got too? Like, why? Why specifically him? So yeah, that's the Bling abilities in Garden Warfare 2. I really hope I didn't miss anything with these, because otherwise I'm gonna look dumb for making this video. But hey, if I'm wrong about anything, feel free to tell me in the comment section, and probably run it by the guy who made the Garden Warfare 2 stat site too. Some of this stuff isn't actually on that site, like the Bling Pylon mech isn't even given damage statistics, so maybe I'm getting something wrong, who knows. But before I go, I want to give a huge shout out to all of my channel members who still support this channel. Y'all rock, thank you so much. And now, as for me here, I'm gonna go work on another video, or two. Man, I really need to get my schedule organized. Anyways, peace. Alright, you know, I'm gonna hawk to, Ah!